Why so many women believe that they must be skinny to be loved? I was this woman, and I want to talk about something that many women carry quietly inside. And it's this deep, painful belief that if only I was skinny, I would be loved, I would feel better. This belief feels like personal, but the thing is that it was given to you long before you even knew what beauty was. So today I want to talk you through the full developmental story. How girls learn this belief, why it stays even after weight loss, how it shapes our relationships with other women, and how we can truly heal from it. So this is a long journey, so take a breath. We're going all the way back. When does a girl first learn that thinness equals love? Around ages 3 to 4, 5, 6. This is the age when children begin forming their first ideas about beauty, about worth, and when they start understanding that they can be socially accepted or not accepted. A little girl doesn't think about weight yet. She only notices which girls get praised, which princesses get chosen, which bodies adults call cute or pretty, which girls boys chase around on the playground. And also if her mom talks about dieting, if her dad compliments her more when she looks nice, if other adults praise thin children, girl brain absorbs one simple rule. Small girls get more approval. Big girls get less approval. And children do not really separate affection from survival, so they start feeling I must be small to be valued and to be safe. Then family plays a huge role. It teaches this belief without even being aware of it. And this belief rarely begins with cruelty. It usually begins with some, random comments, like when moms who grew up dieting often pass their insecurity subconsciously. She'll say, I need to lose weight before the vacation, or, oh, I look so fat today, or I was never as skinny as your cousin. And her daughter doesn't hear body talk. She hears value talk. She starts thinking that if mom hates her own body, her daughter thinks, if I look like her, I will be unlovable too. And if her mom praises thinness, daughter thinks thinness is the way to be loved. Then fathers, of course, contribute in at least two ways. First of all, they pay attention to daughters when they're cute, dressed up, and they comment about other women, saying she's beautiful, or she let herself go, or she was gorgeous when she was thin. And the girl learns that men love thin women. And she thinks, I must be like that to be loved by men too. Then siblings can be brutally honest or brutal, period. They say, you're chubby, you can't wear that, you need to lose weight. Then school, social hierarchy of bodies. Girls get bullied, called fat, big, elephant, ugly, and your brain wires it into your identity. Research shows that bullied children show more body shame in adulthood, and they have more anxiety and depression. Bullying creates body trauma. And body trauma is sticky, it lasts. Also, elementary school is a place where girls first see romantic patterns forming, and boys are picking skinny girls. Boys are chasing cute girls at recess. Boys are making fun of heavier girls. And girls start competing for male attention. Even at age of 7 or 8, girls' emotional brain interprets this as thin girls get chosen and I don't. Then we have media. By age 10, the average girl has been exposed to thousands of images of women with thin waists, narrow hips, smooth skin, perfect faces. So girls learn the template: thin equals chosen, thin equals adored, thin the main character, thin lovable. And as she grows, this gets reinforced. She sees Disney princesses, Barbie dolls, Victoria's Secret models, Instagram filters, TikTok, what I eat in a day, fit girl aesthetic. It is everywhere. And remember, a child cannot critique media. She observes it as truth. Adolescence, when this belief becomes a wound. Teenage years hit really hard because girls get their first crushes, boys choose skinny girls at dances, boys make comments on bodies, girls start comparing every feature. So if a girl is overweight comparing to others, or she simply develops earlier, she may be sexualized or mocked. And then this creates a trauma loop. She starts thinking that her body is wrong and other girls get the love that she wants. And then every next heartbreak reinforces this illusion and forms psychological trauma. And she starts believing if I lose weight, someone will finally love me. Of course, weight loss doesn't solve it. And many women eventually lose weight, they diet, exercise, they restrict themselves, and they expect love to follow. But often nothing happens and the fantasy is gone. And then the girl inside feels confused because, like, I did everything right. Why doesn't he love me now? This belief was never about the body. It was about attachment wounds. It was about longing, shame. It was about emotional abandonment and fear of rejection. And weight loss cannot heal childhood wounds. So even at her thinnest, the woman may still feel unchosen, unseen, unimportant, not enough. And her brain says, maybe I need to be even thinner. So that's how the loop continues. Psychologically, it's schema reinforcement. A schema is a core emotional rule, like love must be earned. Thinness is the currency. These ideas distort our perception. Because we see when a thin girl gets attention, we're like, see, I was right. When a thin girl gets rejected, well, she wasn't thin enough. When this belief becomes deeply rooted, seeing a thin woman can trigger envy, resentment, comparison, anger, and also shame. And of course, this is not about the woman herself. It's the activation of the inner child's wound. She's lovable, I am not. And then we start projecting, like, she has a perfect life, she must be so confident, and men must love her instantly, everything is easier for her. Thin woman becomes a symbol, not a person. And this projection can damage female relationships because it creates distancing, competitive energy, feeling inferior, and feeling disconnected from women. It's hard to form friendships when every woman seems like a threat. On a symbolic level, thinness represents psychological lightness. A thin body becomes a metaphor for being easy, not being a burden, not needing too much, not taking up emotional space, or not overwhelming anyone. So this desire to be thin often masks the desire to be accepted, desire to be easier to love or be less intense, less emotional, less messy, or take up less room in someone's life. Thinness becomes a stand-in for I want to be someone who doesn't get left. It's not a weight desire, it's an attachment desire. So how do we heal from this? Healing is absolutely possible, but it happens across multiple layers. So layer number 1 is attachment healing. Working with a therapist trained in schema therapy, MDR, somatic therapy, internal family systems helps rewrite the early wound, which was tied to this belief love is conditional, I must earn it with smallness. And you start learning that you can be loved as you are. Layer 2 is body trauma healing. If bullying or weight shaming occurred in your childhood or adolescence, your body holds those memories. So somatic work helps, breath work, nervous system regulation, movement, embodiment practices. Healing becomes physical, not just mental. Then 3, rewrite the internalized male gaze. Women often live with an internal imaginary man watching them. Healing means, first of all, identifying the internal critic, separating your desire from what men were taught to desire, and questioning which beliefs actually belong to you. Layer 4 is rebuilding female relationships through friendships with women you do not compare yourself to. It is healing. Because women heal in community. We heal through shared stories, sharing our vulnerability, seeing that every woman carries a wound, and realizing that thinness has zero to do with our worth. Our self-worth and beauty is stable. Healing happens when we discover who we are outside of our appearance, when we start understanding better our values, what we stand for, when we stop being a body trying to earn love. Then we become a person experiencing life. Our brain can be taught new rules. If the old one is, if I'm skinny, I'll be loved, the new one can be, love is emotional, relational, energetic. My presence defines my lovability. Then also meaning reconstruction. Layer number 7. Women heal when they start understanding that thinness wasn't the goal, that love was the goal, that safety and belonging were her goals. And those goals never had anything to do with the scale, with the number on the scale. To summarize, you were never meant to earn love with your waistline. You were born billion% worthy, lovable. You were born enough. Somewhere along the way, culture, family, media, and your own experiences convinced you that you had to shrink to be chosen. But you do not have to shrink. You do not have to shrink your body, voice, your needs, or your presence. You do you. Healing is remembering that love has never belonged to the thinnest girl in the room. It belongs to the most human one. Love belongs to you.